if you continue to charge inappropriate prices for what you're doing, or if you continue to do that out of desperation or lack of skill, and we don't develop this like really good sales, let's call it salesmanship if we want to, leadership really is what it is. But if we don't develop that, then eventually we can run, but we can't hide. Hard truth alert. You are probably not as good at sales as you think you are. I'm speaking, and this might be unfair to the Fit Pro Mentorship Review group. A lot of you guys have worked with mentors, and there's a lot of, I'm sure, intelligent people that you're learning from on the sales side. This is me speaking from my experience and working with, I don't know, having conversations with at least hundreds of gym owners over the course of my time working with you guys and being a gym owner. Most of the time we hear people say, all I need to do is get them in the door. Just put people in front of me. I close 9 out of 10 people. Well, like, do you? Like, do you really? So what we see, we kind of grade people, we grade prospects in terms of one through 5, right, on a scale of 1 to 5. And what we see is most of the people that are saying I close 9 out of 10 people are doing that as a result of basically having no opportunity, or being in such a kind of in that infancy stage of your business where you're getting all of your people from referrals, you're getting all of those people from networking, kind of that boots on the ground, chest to chest type marketing, where everybody knows what the deal is coming in, and we'll say, well, how many leads did you close down to people? That's great. How many leads over the past 3 months? Yeah, probably like 1 or 2 a month. So that's where the problem comes from. We kind of break this down here in this, again, that scale of 1 to 5. The ones are people that basically they'll never be clients of yours, period, end of story. And the 5s are people that are basically like, shut up and take my money. They're going to buy regardless of what you say. Now, sidebar here, they say that 93.6% of statistics are made up on the spot. These are my estimations based on my experience in my gyms and in working with these clients. So breaking down the scale of these prospects 1 to 5, the 5s are shut up and take my money. These are people that you basically just have to not screw up. You can tell them like, hey, yeah, come in. You know, it's going to be, you're going to have to work out for 20 hours a day. It's going to be a 32-year transformation process. You're never going to see your family. We're going to kick you in the genitalia for every second of every session that you're here. And it's going to be $2 million. And they're like, shit, do you take Amex? Right? Those are the shut up and take my money prospects. Not very many of those, but we do see some from time to time. The 4s are the people that just need a little bit of convincing. They might have a couple of questions. They need to make sure you're not a super creeper. They're probably coming in from referrals. These are the people, like, these are where most of us in our infancy stages, and I was this person, guys. I'm speaking from experience. I thought I was way the hell better at sales than I was. And then you put on the tape and it's like, like there's a lot of gaps here. So these are probably where you're closing most of your people, because that is where most of your opportunities are coming from when you're still in that kind of younger stage of the business. The 3s, we start to move into people that are a little bit more difficult. They're kind of I call them low-level skeptics. So they might have been burned a little bit. They probably have some questions. Like, they need to know a little bit more about what's going on. Maybe they had a bad experience at a gym in the past, but they need a little bit more of a process, right? They need more time. More kind of that sales hand-to-hand, back and forth dance to trust you and to buy. The 2s are what I call the hard sells. So these are people that are super jaded, right? Like, we have a lot of hard sells like in the Fit Pro space right now, because there's been so much being burned in this industry, right? You rightfully so have all of these questions. You want to know every little detail of what's going on. Like, are you actually going to help me? It's a lot of work to get these people in. The thing is, right, with those 2s and 3s, if you can win those people over, they can become your biggest advocates, right? Because the people that just need a little bit of convincing, they're kind of liable to run away and go do something else, right? They didn't need much convincing. The skeptics and the hard sells, if you can win them over and then serve them well, holy crap, they'll be your biggest advocates, your biggest source of referrals. So I don't want you to write off those people as, oh, they're just like, they're bad prospects. No, they've probably just been burned, maybe like you have on the business side, right, of your education. You probably just need to be nurtured a little bit before they buy. Finally, the people who would never be a fit, think of this as like I do, like at our gyms, we do kind of pop fitness, right? We're never going to train a pro bodybuilder. It's just not a fit, that person's never going to be a part of our gym. A homeless person who like has no desire of getting clean, like, well, they're probably not going to be a member of our gym, and that's okay. Percentage wise, the way this stuff kind of works out, the way I see it, you probably have 1 in 10 people that are just never going to be a member at your gym. Again, that's fine. Like, we're not worried about those people. You've probably got the next 10% that gets broken down between shut up and take my money and the people who maybe just need a little bit of convincing. But the bulk of the opportunity in your markets, so not necessarily the percentages of the people you talk to, but the bulk of the opportunity in your market comes from those 2s and 3s, comes from the people that might have been burned. They need a little bit more nurturing. Maybe they're scared of the gym environment, right? I say that we kind of work with a lot of the former band geeks, right? The people that were not necessarily the cool kids in high school. They were made fun of for going to the weight room. They've never been athletic. They feel judged when they go to the typical gym. Those are the people that are going to be a little bit more skeptical, but they can become awesome clients. And like, frankly, they need our help. So I don't want us shutting ourselves off to those people. So more problems. The problem with 99.9% of fitness sales today, we've got basically 2 things. Number 1 is you're either doing low ticket, essentially solving way too small of a problem and devaluing your service. This is the idea that like doing some classes or joining a boot camp is a much smaller problem, right? You can solve that for like $10 a month at Planet Fitness or something. Then transforming my life so I can walk my daughter down the aisle or see my grandkids go up, right? Or feel like sexy again and not get a divorce or whatever it might be. That is a bigger problem that we can solve for people than, I just want to do some classes or I want to get a sweat. The issue here that we see, it's basically 3 things. It's either ignorance, like we don't know that we should be charging more, we just don't know better. It's like basically the combination of confidence or guilt. We don't have the confidence to charge what we should be charging, or we feel guilty about money. We've got some money issues that we need to work through, or it's a lack of skill. We know that we need to charge this much. We're totally like confident about doing it, but you just don't have the skill to be able to help people make that decision if it's the right decision for them. Just as bad on the other side of the coin, right? We have low ticket. On the other side is you're stuck in this like super desperate, high pressure, high anxiety frame. Bet on yourself, anyone. That leads to high non-start rates. So like if you ever did any of those fake free challenges and you've got a super high pressure sales situation and they like just buy to get you to leave them alone, and they go home and they exercise that 3-day opt-out period in most states in the US where it's like, yeah, I can't do it. I can't afford this. My husband says no. That's a non-start rate. You have high refund rates of the people that actually do it, and then you have absolute piss poor retention, right? Surprise, surprise. Like you marketed something as free that wasn't, and based your entire relationship with them on anxiety, essentially. Even like we play some chess here, even if it's not completely saturated and played out in your market, these like fake free challenges and 42-day detoxes, whatever else, what type of person are you getting for that type of promotion? There was a big like crazy vacation thing, right? It was a very creative promotion, a very compelling offer, but what type of person, if you play some chess here, what type of person are you getting for those types of offers? Yes. Like I have people, I had a really smart gym owner tell me, yeah, this stuff is like it's like the Groupon of 2010 or 2011. Yeah, I have people that have stuck around from Groupon. You can absolutely get good clients doing those things. But the reality here is those people are less likely to stick around, more likely to jump ship, right? When the gym down the street does the next crazy promotion. So please, like if I could give you one skill, one thing to focus on, just as an entrepreneur, as a fit pro in general, it'd be to try to play chess, right? Think through the consequences of these things 2, 3, 4 moves ahead, instead of just going like, oh, that sounds like it'll make me money. Oh, there's a great testimonial, whatever it might be. So moving into this, right? What is the issue with us having these problems, right? These dichotomies with the issues of fitness sales today is it's the the Dan Kennedy advantage. So Dan Kennedy says the greatest advantage that a business can have is the ability to spend more to acquire a customer. So what I say is that those people that can spend more to acquire a customer and then who actually use that advantage will win. Well, the only way that we can afford to spend more to acquire a customer is to charge appropriately and charge more for our services, and then use that advantage to go get more customers. Now, in terms of where the market is today, right, we can kind of run from this thing, but we can't hide. So if you continue to charge inappropriate prices for what you're doing, or if you continue to do that out of desperation or lack of skill, and we don't develop this like really good sales, let's call it salesmanship if we want to, leadership really is what it is. But if we don't develop that, then eventually we can run, but we can't hide. We can bury our head in the sand and act like the cost of acquiring customers is not going up. But the truth is, it is. And that's a big problem for people who don't basically develop this as a skill. So the truth is that the cost of attention, the cost of acquiring a customer is a lot like the stock market. Right? It is going up over time. So we might have scenarios, oh, there's great months, right? Oh, lead costs went down, or we hit a great promo, or whatever it might be. The reality is we can say with a reasonable degree of certainty that the odds of the cost of advertising being higher than they are 5 years from now is much higher, right? There's a much higher probability of that than the cost of advertising going down 5 years from now. And I know, like, for those of you that listened to the story in the first video, like, yes, we spend our time kicking the crap out of the gurus, the big agencies, the big name ad guys, and their marketing numbers. And that's great. That's awesome. But the truth is, we're burying our head in the sand if we don't read the writing on the wall, right? So the last time I told you, I don't want to make you feel good. I want to actually make you good, right? So if you can't sell to cold traffic profitably in 2020 and beyond, at best, and I'm sorry, hard truth alert, at best, you're going to provide yourself with an okay job, which is a totally valid and valuable goal if that's what you want. What I mean by that, and providing yourself with an okay job, is kind of that self-employment scenario where you're probably doing most of the coaching yourself. You're probably making 50 grand a year, which is, again, is fine. If that's your goal, that's great. You probably can't really take great vacations, or if you do, you've got to close the gym up. So if that's your goal, that's awesome. And, I want to honor you for that. That's great. But that's kind of your best case scenario. Your worst case scenario is you're going to find the good people in your community who should be your clients, right? Who you should be helping, that are working with the crappy coach down the street because that person figured out sales and marketing. That person figured out how to acquire customers in this increasing cost of acquisition market. Now I hear this a lot too. Well, but GR, like, this is bullshit, right? I do organic. Well, like, there's a cost to organic content too, right? Sidebar, if you're in a situation where you absolutely can't wait for ROI, so the online fit pros get a little bit more wiggle room here because they tend to not have rent, payroll taxes, all those different things that kind of increase your burn rate of your cash. If you don't have those, you can buy some more time. But if you do need to make money and make money quickly, or your business is basically going to close, right? You're a gym owner with high costs. I wouldn't bank on some sort of crazy, like, fancy Instagram campaign or something to save you. Some organic deal. By the way, even for people that do organic, and I love organic, right? We teach people organic, but the costs, i.e. the threshold of the quality and quantity of content needed in order to get the quality and quantity of attention that you want to turn to basically create more customers for yourself, the costs there are going up as well. The competition for your eyeballs, whether it's organic, whether it's paid, it doesn't matter, is going up. People can do Netflix, you can do Disney Plus, right? You can watch Frozen every day like we do. Like, you can do any of those things. The cost of the competition of eyeballs is going up. What's the point here? Gym owners and fit pros who undercharge for their services because it is easier in the short term, because it makes you feel good, because we can sell a short-term, like, sales program, guru program that's 8 weeks and get great testimonials where you say, oh yeah, I got 32 customers. What'd they pay? Well, $100 or $21, whatever it is. And you're shit out of luck, right? 12 months later, when you haven't been able to turn that into long-term money. Those types of people will find themselves squeezed out by quality gyms with quality, consistent marketing, quality, consistent sales, as the cost of acquisition increases, and the businesses that can still acquire customers profitably continue to eat up market share, right? So as the little guys, or the guys that don't figure out how to acquire customers profitably on paid methods, whether it's Facebook or whatever the next big social media advertising thing is, as the little guy gets squeezed out, all of a sudden, right, there's more room for the big guy to say, oh, maybe my costs have gone down, I'm going to keep spending, and that snowball that I've started rolling, kicking the crap out of you because you're not able to acquire customers via paid traffic, like, it's just going to keep rolling faster and bigger, and I'm going to acquire more and more and more of your potential customers, leaving you kind of shit out of luck, leaving you with the scraps. So those people that do build great sales as a superpower, you'll be stacking the deck, and those people, the people who stack that deck, you're going to be the people that are able to scoop up all of that opportunity when the bubble does burst for those other gyms in your area who don't figure that shit out, which I think is kind of cool, right? That can be a big positive.
Hey there, hope you enjoyed the video. Do us a favor, if you did enjoy it, you can click the subscribe button. That's somewhere around here. If you didn't, I don't think it's free. So just, like, I guess, do it anyway. We also have more videos, so if you want more where this came from, there's probably linkity links somewhere around my fingers there. And if you want to talk more about growing your gym, talk to us individually, where we'll have a super duper high pressure get to know you call and just really make it an awful awkward situation for you. You can head over to www.myfriendsasyourgrowgyms.com. We'll talk about where your business is at, and on a very sincere, serious note, try to point you in the right direction, whether that means doing business with us or not. As many of you know at this point, we have a better than your money back guarantee, where if you're not happy for whatever reason, as long as you do the work, we will not only give you 100% of your money back, but we'll also give you $500, an extra $500 for your trouble. That's all we got. Love, hugs, all that stuff. Talk soon.